Greetings, my little cousins. We're going to make some novelty cupcakes. I haven't made some of them for a while. Oh, it's a bit hot, just made that. Oh, burning. So these are going to be some novelty cupcakes. There'll be the buttercream frosting, if you like, topping. And then we're going to be decorating it with some fondant. But you'll see that obviously when we get near the end. So, to start with, I've got some melted butter, unsalted butter, 113 grams, and into that I'm going to mix 2 whole eggs, one at a time, and then we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. So I'm just going to get that bit mixed up. So that's the butter, eggs and vanilla combined. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sift into that the dry ingredients. So I've got a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. I've got half a teaspoon of, which one's this one? Baking soda. And I've got a teaspoon of baking powder. Is that right? I've got that right? Yeah. I've got 63 grams of cocoa powder, which is being a little bit of a bugger and not going to come out. I've got 225, is that right? Yeah, 225 grams of caster sugar, and then the final dry ingredient, getting cocoa powder everywhere, is some plain flour. I've got 150 grams of that. So I'm just going to sieve that through into that butter mix. So that's the dry ingredients combined. I've got my oven on, fan 170, okay, it should be kept just about up temperature now. And obviously we're going to need a cupcake tin, you know, with some liners. But I'll get that sorted in a minute, because we just need to add now to that 225 mils of milk. So I'm going to start blending that milk in. So that's all blended together. You might notice that's quite dark chocolate. I substitute about 5 grams of the cocoa powder for dark cocoa powder, black cocoa powder. So I want it to be nice and dark. And what we're going to do now is we're now just going to fill, or half fill I should say, our cupcake cases. And then it's going to go into that oven, 170, where we're then going to bake it for about 15 minutes, but basically like usual, you're going to bake it until a cocktail stick comes out clean when we stick it in it. That's the cupcakes done. Took 20 minutes until they were all nice and clean when I pulled the cocktail stick out. And now we just need to let them thoroughly cool before we put the buttercream frosting on top. We're also going to need to prepare our little decorations. Now I don't think I've mentioned yet, these are pigs in muck cupcakes. So we want some little pigs swimming around, if you like, in the mud. So hence the reason we've got a dark chocolate cupcake. We're going to put a chocolate buttercream on top, and then we're going to stick our little pigs in it. For our pig's trotters, make that one a little bit big, I'm going to roll some, so basically we only want pink fondant for this. We're going to do everything with pink fondant. And we're going to roll some little pea-sized balls, and these will form the trotters, the feet, if you like, of the pigs. So some of these pigs are going to have their trotters visible, and some aren't. So I've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 16 cupcakes there. So we're going to be wanting to make obviously enough pigs, or bits of pigs, to do all of them. I've now rolled 12 larger balls. These are going to be the heads and the belly. Now the heads are going to need obviously a snout and some ears. The belly we're just going to roll and whoops, and then with a cocktail stick, I'll find it, we're just going to give him a little belly button. Now we need to give him a little snout, so I've rolled a tiny little ball, flattened it slightly, and then using a dab of water just to fix the snout. Now again, with our cocktail stick, we're just going to give him a couple of little nostrils on each snout, and he's going to need a couple of eyes as well. So again, with the cocktail stick, we're just going to give him a couple of eyes. So in a way you can see the progress there. So once I finish doing the eyes, I'm just going to form some little triangles which we'll just stick on to make his ears. So there we have the bodies of basically 6 complete bodies of heads, bodies, legs, so on. Okay, so for 6 of the cakes. Now what I'm going to make are some bums. So we're going to have some cakes where all that's visible are the bums. So we'll need to form a ball a bit like the body. Okay, but this one we're going to shape slightly, and we're obviously going to add a little curly tail. So there I've done another set of heads, this time sitting upright on a bit of body. So we've got 6 bums, 6 complete pigs and 6 pig's heads, and I've also made 2 trotters to go with each of those upright heads. So put that to one side. These are now nice and cool. Let's make the muck. So in this bowl I've got some nice soft unsalted butter, 225 grams. I've got 420 grams of icing sugar. I've got a tablespoon of milk. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and I've got another 63 grams cocoa powder. So I'm going to start, not that I think it really needs it to be honest because it's so soft, just creaming that, and then we'll be blending in the other ingredients. Now what we do with the buttercream is we now, using a knife, I haven't got a palette knife that's small enough really, so I'm just using an ordinary knife, and all we're going to do is we're just going to spread some buttercream on the top of each. Now we kind of make it look nice and rough, because remember this is the mud that the pigs are going to be in. So I'm just going to get the cupcakes covered, and then we can add our pigs. And there we have our finished selection of pigs in muck cupcakes. I know a few people this evening or tomorrow who might get to try some of these. But there you go, pigs in muck.